Good evening. Welcome to Left, Right and Centre. I'm Vishnu Shom on the programme this evening. Tomorrow is the final phase of polling, the 7th and final phase. And then you all sit tight and let's see what happens. From tomorrow evening, about 5 p.m. or so, exit polls will start. They often get it wrong, which is why at NDTV we are doing a poll of polls, essentially an average of what all the exit polls are saying, to give you an idea of which way things appear to be going. Will there be any surprises despite a poll of polls? What tends to happen is we get a trend. So by this time tomorrow evening, we'll get a trend on where people have likely voted, where these elections may be headed. And of course, the 4th is the big day. The election results will continue to bring you constant coverage of the big day. Remember, elections, NDTV is all about that. It has been that way for decades. So do stay tuned. We've got so much planned for you. At 1:30 this evening, I'll be joined by a very special guest, Jyotiraditya Scindia, the senior BJP minister. He says crossing the 400 mark is still possible for the BJP and NDA. Is that truly realistic? But first, ahead of a look at what the overall situation in phase 7 is, I think it's useful to introduce our reporters. But first, 7 phases. In the 7th phase, I should say, Uttar Pradesh, 13 of 80 seats go to polls. Punjab, 13 of 13. West Bengal, 9 of 42, Bihar, 8 of 40, Orissa, 6 of 21 seats, Himachal Pradesh, 4 of 4 seats, Jharkhand, 3 of 14, 1 of 1 in Chandigarh. And so it's 7 states, 1 union territory, 57 seats, 904 candidates. It's a very, very important phase indeed. Well, let's just go straight across now to our correspondents on the field who've been covering so much over the last few days. Tanima Biswas joins us from Kolkata. Saurabh Gupta tracking the situation in Orissa. Tanishq joins us from Namoghat. Is that where you are, Tanishq, in Varanasi? And I'm also joined by my colleague Gurpreet Chinna, who joins us from Chandigarh. Thanks all very much. Let me go across to you first. Tanishq, the Prime Minister has won the elections the last couple of times with record margins. I'm sure that would be the expectation of the BJP, but what are you actually picking up on the ground? Are people getting ready for a big festival or celebration?
Well, of course, you know, Vishnu, for the BJP, it has been a home turf for the BJP for the longest time. Before Prime Minister Narendra Modi decided to contest from here, it was Murli Manohar Joshi who actually contested, who was a member of parliament from here. But in 2014, it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi who decided he will be contesting from here. In 2014, he got around 53% of vote share. That rose to 63%, around 55% in 2014. That rose to around 63% in 2019. But in 2019, it was the Samajwadi Party and the Congress were not in alliance back then. But this time, it is the Samajwadi Party and the Congress are in alliance. In fact, in 2019, it was the Samajwadi Party candidate that came number 2. So, of course, the India bloc here is looking for a transfer of votes. Definitely, we also saw Priyanka Gandhi and Dimple Yadav holding a massive roadshow here in Varanasi, and then Rahul Gandhi and Akhilesh Yadav holding a joint public meeting. So, as far as opposition is concerned, they of course have put their best foot in front. They went all guns blazing with all their big wigs, Akhilesh Yadav, Dimple Yadav, Priyanka Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, all of them campaigning here in support of Ajay Rai. But when we talk about the BJP, you know, for BJP, it is a foregone conclusion. Winning is a foregone conclusion. What they are eyeing is a record margin win this time. That is what the BJP believes, and they want a record margin win this time. Especially because it is the home turf of the BJP, and it is the Prime Minister that is himself is contesting from here. But if I talk about, and also of course I forgot to mention about how the BJP big guns have been campaigning here. They were campaigning here. Like Devendra Fadnavis, Smriti Irani, all the big guns, Keshav Prasad Maurya, all the big guns were present here campaigning in support of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But, talking about people, of course, this has been a BJP home turf, and for people of Varanasi, it is not just a member of parliament that they choose, but of course, they also have this feeling that we are choosing the Prime Minister. We are electing a Prime Minister from this constituency. And this is what people do take pride, the people of Banaras do take pride in. But at the same point of time, you know, what I sense is that issues like inflation and unemployment still matter to people. Even if they support BJP, issues like inflation and unemployment still matter to people. And they are looking for solutions also on these issues. Yes.
Absolutely. Gurpreet, let me come across to you. Let's focus a little bit on Punjab. The Aam Aadmi Party, of course, in the recent assembly elections did extremely well. However, one of the biggest victories the last time around in the Lok Sabha level was for the Congress party. But the dynamics have changed within that state massively. So is Punjab really up for grabs this time around, at least at the Lok Sabha level?
Well, yes, Vishnu, there is a very interesting contest which is happening in Punjab, and in Punjab, only state where four-corner contest has been seen. Whether it's the BJP, they are first time they are going solo in all the 13 Lok Sabha seats, and whether it's the Shromani Akali Dal, they have put the whole things on the stake so that they will be able to revive or survive in the state of Punjab. At the same time, Aam Aadmi Party has a litmus test in the state of Punjab because they claim for the last 2.5 years they have been working very hard, and the free electricity has been given to residents of Punjab that they are trying to project everywhere in their campaign also. At the same time, the Congress, they have been criticizing. One side we have seen in national capital, they have formed India bloc and they have forged alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party. But here in Punjab, a lot of criticism, whether the leader of opposition Pratap Singh Bajwa or Congress chief, they have been attacking on Aam Aadmi Party in the state of Punjab. If we can talk about the hot seats in Punjab, we have seen Jalandhar, the former chief minister of Punjab, Charanjit Singh Channi, is contesting, and the Congress had put the whole weight behind the former chief minister because they feel he will be able to woo the Dalit voters from that area, from Doaba area. At the same time, for Shromani Akali, the most important seat is Bathinda, from where the former Union Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal is contesting, and the whole Shromani Akali Dal had put the whole things on the stake in Bathinda, so that this seat, winning of this seat matters a lot for Shromani Akali Dal revival or survival.
So it's absolutely critical over there in terms of a four-cornered fight, as you actually mentioned, Gurpreet. That's absolutely fascinating this time. Taniba, let me go across to you. The Trinamool made a clean sweep in the 7th phase last time in Bengal. It was because of this performance in the 7th phase that they actually won most seats in Bengal. If I recall correctly, up to the 6th phase, I should say, the BJP was actually ahead of the Trinamool Congress. So this 7th phase is absolutely critical, both for the BJP and the Trinamool Congress, right?
That's right, Vishnu. In fact, and this is the crown jewel of sorts. It's the capital of the state, Kolkata, which is voting on Saturday. And TMC, of course, is very confident. It is South Bengal specifically, of course, is known as the TMC bastion. The last two phases have been all about that. But it's specifically, if you talk about Kolkata, the constituencies of South Kolkata, Jadavpur, or even the surrounding constituencies, whether it is Abhishek Banerjee's constituency, he's the incumbent MP there, again, standing for re-election from Diamond Harbour, or even Dum and some of the other surrounding constituencies of Kolkata, where TMC is very confident. The only area where, the only constituency where there seems to be some chatter about a keen contest, so to speak, is North Kolkata, where turncoat from TMC. Tapash Roy is, of course, the BJP candidate. So that is where BJP seems to see a fighting chance, so to speak, in this urban centre. In fact, the Prime Minister also, if you remember, held a road show from North Kolkata. He, of course, held a public meeting in Jadavpur as well. But it was in North Kolkata primarily that we saw the Prime Minister leading a road show over there along with the candidate. So that seems to be the seat in a way which seems to be where BJP sees a fighting chance. And also very quickly, as I said, the non-Bengali voters as well, whether or not the vote share as far as from these pockets of Kolkata, which seem to have a substantial and growing non-Bengali voters vote base, that gives BJP a bit of an edge as well. That's something to wait and watch out for. Vishnu.
All right, Tanima, thanks very much. Saurabh, let me go across to you. Odisha, of course, fascinating state. Simultaneous polls, Assembly and Lok Sabha this time around. Last time around, the BJD was supreme at both the assembly level and at the Lok Sabha level. Naveen Patnaik still very much the foremost leader, some would suggest, in Orissa. But is there a sense that there is a new tier of leadership that the BJD is really trying to get going, because he's been chief minister for a while, he's getting on now, and the party needs to be revitalized somewhat. Is that what this election is a test of?
Well, Naveen Patnaik is seeking a historic 6th term, and if he wins it, he's going to be India's longest serving chief minister, and that's what's at stake here. Now, yes, there are simultaneous elections. 42 assembly seats and 6 parliamentary seats are going to polls, amongst them Kendrapada, which is of course the seat for Jay Panda, who's the BJD turned BJP leader. But beyond that, Naveen Patnaik made a very interesting statement, and he said VK Pandian is not my successor. And that in a sense is blunting the attack of the BJP on 2 counts. One is on Odia Asmita and the other is on the outsider tag attached to Mr. VK Pandian, a close aide of the chief minister, someone who was a bureaucrat who quit the IAS and joined the Biju Janata Dal, Naveen Patnaik's party. And there were talks of an alliance between the BJP and the BJD. Talks fell through and quickly descended into a very bitter campaign, with even the Prime Minister saying that he felt there was a conspiracy regarding Naveen Patnaik's deteriorating health, prompting Naveen Patnaik to respond, saying the Prime Minister could have simply picked up the phone and called if he was concerned. Unfortunate the Prime Minister used these words to get votes. So it is a very interesting state, but most importantly, simultaneous polls. Will Naveen Patnaik hold on to his turf? Will the BJP able to breach the Naveen Patnaik bastion? Or will Naveen Patnaik make history and become India's longest serving chief minister and win a historic 6th term? All of that at stake in Odisha.
All right, thanks very much all of you for being with us, and we'll be seeing a lot more of you over the next couple of days. It's going to be really exciting from here onwards, if it hasn't already been that. We're going to now do a deep data dive. As we do that, I wanted to mention our panelists this evening: Dr. Shama Mohammed, National Spokesperson of the Congress Party; Dr. Guru Prakash Paswan of the BJP; Abhinandita Mathur, National Spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party; and Aarti Jairath, the senior journalist. So let's just go through some of the important data points and then bring on our panelists this evening. So let's take a look, bring up the first set of graphics if we can, to actually take a look at what the overall situation is. So we're just queuing up those graphic points. If you'll just bear with me for a moment as we try and get those graphics up. So I think what we can actually do, and I've got it with me, is talk about the significance of phase 1 to phase 6. That of course has already taken place. Now if you take a look at phase 1 to 6 in the 2019 Lok Sabha result, the NDA had won 322 by the time you hit the 7th phase. The BJP had won 278 of this. The Congress had won just 44. The India Alliance, or what constitutes the India Alliance, they were of course not the India Alliance then, but in 2019 they had won 110 seats. Dr. Shama Mohammed, let me come to you first. How would you assess, or how would you actually look at this final phase? And let me be specific. The only state in North India where the NDA faced defeat in 2019 was Punjab. After Kerala, the Congress actually won the most seats from Punjab in 2019. Can the Congress repeat their 2019 performance after the huge defeat in the assembly elections?
I was in Punjab, and I can tell you that we are going to do better than what we did last time. So definitely there'll be a change there. You will see the changes in Himachal. You will see changes in Haryana. I mean, Himachal is going for polling. So what I have also, and even UP, let me tell you, this Agniveer issue is a huge issue all over northern part of India. If you go out there and go at the grassroots level, and also price rise is very important to the people, what is happening right now, and also the unemployment issue. Basically, people are a bit fed up of Narendra Modi talking from morning to night about Hindu, Muslim, Hindu, Muslim, Hindu, Muslim. They are asking the question is that if 10 years he's been in power, let him talk about how many jobs, what he has done for us in the last 10 years. It is after the Congress manifesto has come out, again I'm going to be saying that, very clearly that there is no talk about Modi ki guarantee manifesto. Why hasn't Narendra Modi spoken either about what he did in 10 years or about his new manifesto? Why is he picking up whatever, against the opposition, especially the Congress manifesto is the most talked about? It is clear, let me tell you, the writing is on the wall that the Bharatiya Janata Party is losing the election, the NDA is losing the election. They are very scared at this point of time. They are rattled because what they are getting reports also is that they are going way below 220. So, we are very sure that we are coming back to power in the coming election. There's an India alliance will be there.
I'm just making the point.
You also go around you must have also traveled.
No, I have traveled. I have traveled a fair bit, and honestly, I don't see them being rattled. I think the only statistic in this election campaign, which was worrying for the BJP and the NDA, was the low voter turnout. Now, that again depends on interpretation. Many feel that will not favor the BJP. Others say that, how do you assume that to be the case?
One more thing.
But apart from that, why do you say that they are necessarily rattled?
No, Vishnu,
that's my question.
Vishnu, one more thing. The ECI has also increased the number of votes, no? When they say first it is 3%.
No, but then that went to the Supreme Court.
So
that
we are
went to the
worried
Supreme
for
Court.
where the Election Commission of India are getting these votes.
Yeah.
That is also
No,
worrying
but one
us.
second. That has been
Because
resolved by the
ECI
Supreme
Court. Mr. Modi is right now violating the model code of conduct
Shama,
by going,
that has been resolved by the Supreme Court. Whether you like it or not, Shama, that has been resolved by the Supreme Court.
What?
The Supreme Court was asked very pointedly by the ADR about how it is that numbers are not
but what I'm trying
repeated.
To tell you,
so let's accept what the Supreme Court has said. It's not,
The Supreme Court said they're not going to interfere. That's what the Supreme Court said. We will not interfere.
Well, if they aren't interfering, then we need to accept what the results are. They have also, the Election Commission, come out with a detailed explanation on how it works. They've also come out with absolute numbers.
There is so much of a discrepancy, we are not going to accept like that.
Okay.
Because the Election Commission has just been a puppet this time.
Okay, Shama, fair enough. Let me go across to Dr. Guru Prakash Paswan.
Right now.
Shama, hang on half a sec. We'll come back to you. Dr. Paswan, 2 points that she spoke about. Shama Mohammed of the Congress Party says that the Prime Minister has not spoken enough about job generation, employment issues on the ground. And secondly, the Congress believes that the role of the Election Commission is dubious. How would you respond to both these points?
No, Vishnu, I think I'm reminded of a saying which is dar acha hai. I think this dar is very good, this dar is very legitimate because they need a reason to blame upon. It is either going to be Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge or the Election Commission of India or the EVMs. But the simple fact of the matter is, I very well remember, and Vishnu, you would also remember, that in 2009 general election, Mr. Naveen Chawla, who was disqualified to hold any public office by the Shah Commission, Mr. Naveen Chawla used to call himself as the third son of Indira Gandhi. He was made the election commissioner, a chief election commissioner, just before the election was about to be announced for 2009 parliamentary polls. Point number one. Point number two, Congress party has absolutely no faith in any institution as long as it's convenient for them. Supreme Court of India, it suits them when it's an electoral bond scheme. Supreme Court of India, it is against them when any of their leadership is against their wishes and fancies. But the simple point is that economy is doing well. Only this morning we had a report from S&P that moved our status from stable to positive. So apparently under an Oxford-Cambridge economist prime minister, we were a stable economy. But for the first time, we are now, in the last 14 years, we are a positive going economy. 5th largest economy already, we are going to be 3rd largest economy, 25 crore people out of poverty. And the Congress spokesperson keep on saying Hindu, Muslim, Hindu, Muslim. Madam, your party is doing Muslim, Muslim. Absolutely. Mr. Sam Pitroda, overseas Congress chief, he is talking about wealth distribution. Former Prime Minister speaking about the first claim of Muslim over the national resources. So on the one hand, the Prime Minister Modi, Bharatiya Janata Party, we speak on behalf of 1.4 billion people. We speak for 1.4 billion people. On the other hand, the Congress party, in its quest for minority appeasement, historically and structurally has damaged the secular fabric of our country. The people of India have seen through it, and that is one of the reasons, Vishnu, that in 2019 we got an even bigger mandate than 2014, and in 2024 on June 4th, I did not speak when they were speaking. I did not speak when you were speaking, ma'am. Please show some grace and patience. Thank you so much.
Carry on, Dr. Paswad.
In 2019, we got a bigger mandate. In 2019, we got a bigger mandate than 2014. In 2024 also, we would see an even bigger mandate than 2019. 400 par, and the opposition is absolutely routed and rattled.
Okay. I wanted to go across to Abhinandita. Abhinandita, can the Aam Aadmi Party repeat its 2022 assembly poll performance?
Yes, certainly. Hopefully, yes. But for us, this election is not just about...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. For us, this election is not just about, A party, B party, or any individual. Nobody is above the country. I think that collectively what the country has shown right now is that they will not tolerate any kind of, threat to our democracy, any kind of threat to just basic grace. Politics is supposed to have some greater purpose, Vishnu. But this 10 years of Mr. Modi has completely destroyed the practice, prospects of politics. Modi has made politics actually like a dark, dirty thing. I mean, unfortunately, and him being the Prime Minister, lying from the highest podiums, what is he trying to do now? He's also declared that he's not biologically. I mean, there is a little, it's a bit worrisome how he's talking, abusing minorities from the biggest stages, inciting violence, hatred, putting opposition leaders in prison. This is not going to, which is why we say that a party or an individual is not as important. I don't think that, I honestly feel it's hard to imagine why even in the good folks in the BJP or the RSS are not, allowing Modi ji to ruin the country like this. Because even within any iota of patriotism, I think people should be able to see that this, this election is about the country and not about one person, one party.
Well, that really depends. I think, Abhinandita, one needs to wait to see what finally takes place.
Yes, but I'll tell you, I've been on the ground. I've been on the ground. I'll just finish quickly. I've been on the ground, and the way the people have been manipulated, they've been dazzled with Modi ji's antics and tricks. When you ask him about unemployment, which is a big issue on the ground, and everyone here will agree, we say, "Aji, 2024 में क्या है नौकरी की हालत?" Then he'll tell you 2024 में के लिए उनके पास कुछ plan है.
Okay, one second, Abhinandita. Let me bring in Aarti over here.
With the electorate, I think that the
one second, Abhinandita. Let me bring in Aarti as well. Aarti, both the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, perhaps predictably, making the point that, look, not enough has been spoken by the BJP or the Prime Minister on the real issues of employment, job creation and inflation. However, when one speaks to BJP leaders, even Jyotiraditya Scindia, who I spoke to today, he went on and on about India's economic growth and job creation. So it really depends on who you want to listen to or whose argument you want to accept.
Vishnu, let's not listen to what the political leadership is saying, because they will obviously say what suits them. But I think let's just listen to what people on the ground say. And, throughout your shows, when your reporters were speaking to people across the country, unemployment was one issue that was being raised by a lot of voters. Yes, they talked about development, they talked about, the good things that had been done by the Modi government, but they also talked about their fears about rising joblessness. So, it is clearly an issue, whether the BJP wants to admit it or not. I think that for the next government, this is going to be a challenge. The very fact that you have a Labharti network of 22 crore families, who are being given free grain and subsidized housing, subsidized gas connections and so on, means that you still have to create this safety network of welfare schemes for people. So clearly there is poverty on the ground. There is, some kind of unemployment, joblessness on the ground. So, I think that there's no point in hiding behind it. You can claim whatever GDP statistics, growth statistics you want to. And certainly the news today has been quite good. But, you know, it must also match reality,
Sure.
ground reality. And I think that what we're seeing is a disconnect between what leaders are saying and what people are saying on the ground. And somewhere, I hope that that twain meets and, you know, the country can
That's
move
what
ahead.
makes this election so interesting. Dr. Paswan, in the final phase in Uttar Pradesh, 13 seats in the eastern part of the state are going to polls, including Varanasi, the Prime Minister's seat. Last time, the NDA won 11 of these 13 seats. You know, a huge strike rate. Do you believe that the NDA can seriously repeat its performance over there? A lot of people will suggest that the opposition is more invigorated in Uttar Pradesh, perhaps more cohesive than it was last time.
No, absolutely. I think Vishnu, Uttar Pradesh has been, we have been very privileged to work in Uttar Pradesh because 2014, the number of MPs that Uttar Pradesh gave us was phenomenal. 2017, we formed a single majority government in the Vidhan Sabha. 2019, when all the opposition parties came together, despite that, we had a substantial number of member of parliaments from Uttar Pradesh. And 2022, for the first time in the last 30 years, we had a BJP government, Yogi Adityanath ji, coming again with a single majority. So I think Uttar Pradesh is very important to us. And Honorable Prime Minister himself contesting from Varanasi sends a very strong message, sends a very strong signal. Uttar Pradesh has undergone a very fundamental transformation in the last 10 years in terms of governance, in terms of development. It used to be a place, it used to be a state where law and order was an issue, anarchy was an issue. But in the last 10 years, we have seen a very fundamental developmental conversation, political discourse starting in Uttar Pradesh. So we are very hopeful that Uttar Pradesh, especially the eastern Uttar Pradesh like Devariya, Varanasi, Balia, these are the seats where we have personally went to and campaigned, and especially among the unconventional quarters as well. Women from the minority communities, women from the SC/ST communities, they are coming out in large numbers and supporting our welfare, our Labharti program. More than 4 crore of Awas Yojana, more than 10 crore Ujjwala Yojana, more than 25 crore people out of Garibi Rekha, more than 50 crore Jandan accounts. So I think it is a combination of factors of welfare, Labharti outreach, and a more inclusive, a more diverse, and a more equitable power structure that has emerged in the last 10 years. We have for the first time, Vishnu, 3 Dalit women in the history of Uttar Pradesh, in the UP cabinet, Vijay Lakshmi ji, Gulab Devi ji, Baby Rani Maurya ji. So the people of Uttar Pradesh, especially the women of Uttar Pradesh, I would again like to focus the Dalit women, the Adivasi women, the minority women who were absolutely in problem with the triple talaq. But after the abolition of triple talaq, we are seeing a renewed sense of hope, a renewed sense of faith in the leadership of Bharatiya Janata Party, in the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned. So we are very positive, and we are excitedly looking forward to what's going to happen in Uttar Pradesh. But we are definitely looking forward to it. People of Uttar Pradesh, the women of Uttar Pradesh will definitely give us their blessings, and our performance would definitely be better than 2019, Vishnu.
Yeah. Shama, I wanted to talk a little bit about Bihar with you.
He's going on talking, you're not...
One sec. So let's focus on Bihar a little bit. So we're just trying to get as many states covered. Shama, the NDA won all 8 seats last time that are going to the polls in this final phase. Last time, Upendra Kushwaha, Jitan Ram Manjhi's party were part of the Mahagathbandhan. This time, they are with the NDA. With a larger alliance this time, can the NDA replicate its previous performance, or do you believe the India alliance is set to make a comeback?
Yeah, I'm going to answer that after I have to reply to Dr. Guru Prakash, what he said. He said about Naveen Chawla. Let's understand, in 2019, the Supreme Court pulled up the Election Commission because they were not holding to account Mr. Modi. And finally, Mr. Ashok Lavasa came out and said, yes, Mr. Modi has violated the code of conduct, and Mr. Ashok Lavasa had to resign. Number 2, he says that 23 crore people have been taken out of poverty. Who said this? When we took out 27 crore people, UNDP said that, Oxfam said that. And you take out 23 people out of poverty, but you're giving 80 crore people free food. I fail to understand your mathematics. 80 crore people out of 140 crore people are being given free food. So how can you lie like this coming on live TV? You have to stop lying. People know that you open and lie out here. There is nothing what you're saying is the truth. And you have not saved any Muslim women or Muslim minorities. They are all against you because you have killed a lot of their husbands through cow lynching and mob lynching. You have... No, but it's not personal. I'm talking about the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Don't accuse them of lying this, that and the other. That's a bit unfortunate.
Vishnu, you're trying to become a BJP spokesperson. Sorry?
You're not accusing him of lying on air and things like that. You're just trying to have a... All right, 1 second. He wants to reply to that.
No, I mean...
Since nobody is answering my question,
Vishnu, it looks
let
like
him
I can't
answer.
come on your show anymore because you are... No, you didn't let me finish. No, I don't want Paswan to reply because I want my time. I want my time.
But
look,
you haven't
Brij
answered
Bhushan
the
Sharan Singh
question.
is here. He talks about women. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, have the women of India got anything out? Mr. Modi supported
What about Shantilal Dhariwal? Shantilal Dhariwal, Rajasthan मर्दों का प्रदेश है. Rajasthan मर्दों का प्रदेश है. Shantilal Dhariwal, your minister. Shantilal Dhariwal ने क्या बोला था? राजस्थान मर्दों का प्रदेश है, रेप होता रहेगा. Shantilal Dhariwal के बारे में बोलिए जरा. Shantilal Dhariwal, राजस्थान मर्दों का प्रदेश है. राजस्थान मर्दों का प्रदेश है. Your minister said.
All right, bring down both their sounds. Bring down both their sounds.
Shantilal Dhariwal.
Bring down both their sounds. Aarti, let me take that question across to you. Bihar is an absolutely fascinating state.
Yes.
The alliances have changed. We've seen Nitish move from one side to the other, back to one side. And so where exactly, how do you see it going, particularly in the 7th phase?
So, personally, I think that Nitish Kumar is the weak link in the NDA. It's a bit like what happened in Maharashtra. There's been so much chopping and changing that the people of Maharashtra are quite confused and I think quite disgusted as well with the kind of politics they've seen in the last 2-3 years. So I think a similar kind of feeling is there in Bihar. And personally, I feel that if the BJP had gone on its own without Nitish, it probably would have done far better. Rather than compromise itself and, take back a man who has left them, come back, left them, and then come back again. It is a compromise of their ideology and their principles, there's no doubt about it. And I think that there will be an impact on the ground. I think we will see an impact in the results. I do believe that the NDA will not do as well as it did last time. What will help the NDA stay afloat is the BJP's own seats, the 17 seats that the BJP is contesting, where, I think the BJP is pretty strong. But I'm not sure how well the JDU will do. That is really the weak link in Bihar.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you all very much for joining us. Tomorrow, this time, we'll get a clear idea of where the exit polls are actually headed. Whether the exit polls are accurate or not, nobody knows.